Alright, welcome to this video. It's gonna be one of my Blender workflow series video. So anyway, I was thinking about doing this video about add-ons that I really like and use. So this is gonna be an add-on that I first installed in version 1.6. I really didn't use it for anything. I was kind of having it on the back burner if there were ever a project that needed it. So basically, Google Animation Nodes for Blender, if you don't know what it is. It's a node-based scripting, visual scripting language, which I find really easy and like I really love it. And I think it's perfectly in line where Blender is heading with the nodification of everything. So you can get it from the GitHub repo, but I downloaded it from graphical.org because in this new version 2.0 they are using Python, so it needs to be compiled for each system. So I downloaded it here for Windows. It's made by Jackluck. I'm just going to call him Jackluck. So probably he's French or Belgian or something, but there seems to be a lot of talented French Blender artists out there and developers. So yeah, I'm probably going to showcase another add-on I really love, which is called DecalMachine, but enough of that. Let's talk about animation nodes. So you can download it here, or for Mac over there, or even Linux. So a couple of years ago I had the opportunity to try out Exercise of the March. I was running Linux on Ubuntu back then, so it wasn't like the best experience so far, but I tried to follow one of their tutorials about a thing called ICE, Interactive Creative Environment or something. But anyways, that kind of sparked the interest in this node-based visual coding language. And there's a lot of other applications that use it, like Houdini is probably one that's you've seen at least, and then there's also this Fabric engine and stuff like that. So but those are more, yeah, I guess animation node is what I've seen. It's kind of expanding, it's go beyond animation, it's becoming more like generating and editing mesh data and stuff like that, so it's really cool. But this is gonna be like a really simple test since I haven't done that much with it yet. So I have this like tree over here. I'm just gonna scale it down a little bit more since I want to make a grid of them. So let's go into Node Editor. Once you download it, you install it just like all the other things. Anim nodes and animation nodes. So you download it, enable it and stuff like that. You're probably used to it. It's not that super hard. But anyway, now we have it here. Let's make a node tree. It can be called node tree. I don't try hard. So what I want to do is basically make a grid of these and flip them over. That's a pretty simple thing you've probably seen in some motion graphic videos. So that's why I'm thinking, like, where I was keeping animation node on the back burner was also like I want to make these small diorama scenes where all the objects kind of fall from the top and stuff like that. You see in breakdowns, it could be cool. So, but I'm not gonna do that now. I'm just gonna do the flippy thingy. So first of all, you see that the add menu is kinda huge, but it's also like really nicely sorted with icons, which is nice. We have this search thing. So I'm just gonna get a object instance. I'm gonna turn on snapping also because I really like it in the node editor, but not in the 3D view as much, but here it's really nice. So you can sample stuff like that. I guess you can, if I clean this out and just press I, can I eyedrop? No. Okay, you have to use the, you have to select stuff in 3D viewport and use this sampler. So we have that in. Let's try and make the grid, and it's under mesh and probably generators. So I have a bit problem since I haven't used that much to find the menu, so sometimes I'm gonna use this, they have this own search on Control A, which is kinda nice. When you kinda know what you want, but you get kinda lost in this huge ass menu. And once again, back to my old video, it would be really cool if you could just drag and drop one of this noodle and boom, go into this and search what you want. So yeah, we have to make a lot of instances of these trees. So let's plug that in, and let's plug in the number of vertices into this one. So you can see here we have like a 10 by 10 grid. So probably now we have a lot of objects. 1 of 102. So yeah, I'm gonna just take this source object and move it away to layer 2, I think. So the editable mesh is over there, and here are the instances. Save it if it crash. So yeah, so we have a lot of instances. Let's move them on the grid. So I'm probably going to use this, or maybe I can use the menu and try to find it. Matrix, translation. So we have to move, let's see, to every vertex we want to move the objects over there. And to see the effect, I think we have to have an object matrix output. Yeah, that seems right. Because then we can plug in all the objects from this list into the output, and probably that one there. And here we have like a vector or position, translation position, so let's plug all the vertices in there. Boom. So it makes pretty much sense, and it's pretty nice, I think. Also seen they have a lot of cool like viewer. We have we can get stuff into the 3D view, and they have a lot of like nice debugs. So I'm probably going to use animation nodes more and more from now on. Why do I see the one in the middle? Did I have a dupe? No, well, it's still on layer 1. Go to layer 2. So now we only have the like generated stuff. Okay, so now I want to have like some kind of fall off thing. It's called fall off, which is makes sense. Like something to control it, the effect, because I want them to flip over like this. So probably, wait, what's it called? What is it called? Matrices. Offset. I'm gonna delete this debugger because the node is confusing me a bit. Okay, so we are moving them to all the vertices of the grid, but we want to transform them a bit. I want to change the rotation 180, not 1800. So yeah, that is pretty cool. I wonder how it would look if I scale them on the Z axis. Plop. Oh yeah. So they were I think, crap, why do I have 2 now? Ah, shit. Let's sorry for the language. But you see the origin point is like here in the bottom, so I can't really scale it. It's just gonna be flat. So let's use rotation. And I really like this, that you can toggle and get more like inputs, like it's hiding them by default. I would like to see this in more nodes actually in Blender, like the ability to enable stuff in the node itself. So okay, now this value we have to drive, but from this one. So let's use this object input, and we cannot plug it in here because you can see the colors and stuff like that. So it's a mismatch. Let's see what we have in fall off. Interpolate. object somewhere. There. I really like also to memorize the keycut command, so I'm gonna spend time in the menus to the quicker you get, like we can go FO. Boop. Let's plug that one in there. Oh, and it's working. I'm gonna turn off snapping so it's a bit smoother to move in 3D viewpoint. That's also something that's a bit weird in Blender. If you turn on snapping in 3D view, it's turn on snapping in node editor. And I think I bug reported once and they told me it's like the code is interconnected, but I really like snapping in the node editor, so it's on this grid and it's really organized. But I don't really like snapping in the 3D viewport. So, and this is really cool. So you have all the controls from this object. So if you want to animate it, it's pretty simple. You can just scale it up and stuff like that. But as you can see, it's kind of hard edge there. And if you ever, I used to code JavaScript and stuff like that, and I'm used to have animation libraries, so I'm really used to all this easing curves like elastic and bounce. Probably gonna use elastic. Then we're gonna see them go a bit above their value and back, but it's kind of, yeah, okay. So as you see, the animation is really hard. I think it's because of this one. If we change this to 1, or is it the fall of width? Okay, so yeah, the fall of width. Imagine it has that it has a radius, and that radius is like with the wider fall of width, it becomes like a think of it like a ramp or a gradient. It becomes smoother over time, so, or over distance. So, and we can probably play around with interpolation. I think there was from curve. So let's plug in a curve instead. Or no, interpolation construct. Yeah, we can make our own and use elastic. So now we have a bit more of options. And as I said, they have some really cool viewer stuff, so we can actually see our interpolation curve. And I really wish that Blender curves had this option, because if I add one of those, you can see like this curve. If you pushes above, you can't really see how it goes above the value and back to the so this is kind of neat way to, and I think like 4 bounces is a bit too much for elastic, so let's change it to 2, which basically makes it a bounce or a back easing curve. But we have some, we can have more control here to make it less, a bit more subtle. Is this controlling the top? Yeah, I think so. Oh shit. Like that. So you can see it go above its value and back. So yeah, this is really cool. I think it makes a lot of sense. So yeah, sorry for the noises there. It's a habit when I animate stuff, like to explain stuff. Explain animation with noises. So for me it makes a lot of sense, and I want to play around with it more and stuff like that. But this is also an interesting part, that you can take like a mesh. I'm gonna turn it to wireframe. Let's call it planet or something. We can get that one in. So let's do the same thing with the grid, but instead just vertices of this one. So I kind of want object, geometric, no, data, no, oh, is it, I'm in the wrong one. So this, sorry, I'm just, yeah, object mesh data. I'm new to this add-on, so I kinda know what I want. Oh, why can't I? Object mesh, yeah. If I just search for mesh data, I get another one. So yeah, so instead of the grid, let's use the object mesh data. And this is the object we want. Could I actually... Okay, so maybe I don't really need that one. Maybe I just need this one. Because we want to duplicate my tree, which is down over here. Can just move it up a bit. Instancer. It kind of knew what I wanted there. That was freaky. Like so. We need an object matrix output. So let's see what O and X. O, X. Good to learn the shortcuts. So now we probably have a lot of trees in the middle, but we need to translate them over there. So matrix translation. Ah, crap. Matrix translation. And for each vertex, I think, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty cool. You can see it's becoming a bit laggy in material view, but I'm gonna be there because I could actually... Okay, so now when we move them, when we translate them to point, I would like to make them smaller. So we should... What was it called? Offset, yeah. Offset matrix. Offset matrix? Matrices? Let's plug that one in. Let's change the scale. Whoa, no, sorry, not. Alright, sorry. One on everything. Okay. I'm gonna add a empty cube to kind of control it. Now I need one of these. And we need a fall off. Shift A, F, fall off, and O object. Plug this in there and that in there. Okay. I think. Okay, let's change into 0. Alright. Now. So as the cube gets closer, they go to scale 1. I guess the next step would be like to rotate them and stuff. It's similar to this one. You kind of need a matrix rotation and like I guess calculate the vectors and stuff. I'm not gonna do it. I think this is showing enough for this video, like the power of it. And yeah, I think this is gonna be one of my favorite add-ons, and one of the add-ons you should really have. And it could be cool to make breakdowns of your models and stuff like that, where all the bits and pieces of it scales up and stuff like that. So yeah, I think this is the video about animation nodes. Check out the add-on and get it. The next video is probably gonna be about DecalMachines. So I have some decals already made, so I don't know. I'm probably gonna record it later today. But anyway, animation nodes. Check it out. Get it at graphical.org. Make a donation to Jack Luck. I think I already made a donation for his autocomplete in the Python editor in Blender. So, but I might do another small donation for this, because I really didn't use the autocomplete that much. But this add-on I probably will use more, so I'm gonna make a donation, and hopefully he's gonna be like a prominent developer for Blender, because if the foundation doesn't know about this, they should really check him out, especially for the notification of everything. I mean, if he can do this with a Python add-on, imagine what he or somebody working with somebody else can do with like C++ code or C code, like change the real source of Blender. And Jack, if you ever see this if you ever see this video, if you're able to make noodles when you release it, call this menu and add a node and connect them, that would be really great. But I think Scottish Cyclops is on that add-on, which I have some videos about. But anyways, this video is over now. I don't want to ramble on. Bye.